What's going on, y'all? Welcome. Today I want to talk about the Switch 2, specifically about GameCube support on the Switch 2 and why this is so important. And it's important for a lot of reasons. Number one, it's just awesome. Like, GameCube is an amazing system, and to have GameCube games be readily available on the Nintendo Switch 2 is phenomenal. I can't say enough good about that. But the second big reason is for those collectors out there, you can breathe a sigh of relief. Hey, you can finally start getting some GameCube games at reasonable prices. Now, it's not going to be all at once, but the demand will decrease, and thus the supply of the GameCube games will increase, which will put selling pressure on those who are holding those games, trying to get, these massive amounts of money for for some of these games, like those Pokemon games that cost like $150 to $250 a piece. It's insane stuff. Me personally, I really want Chibi Robo. That costs like $200 to $300. I will not pay that much money. So with the supply increasing, the demand decreasing, the prices will go down. Now again, it's not going to be all at once. It's going to take probably several years still, if not several months, because not all the GameCube games are coming out all at once. They're only going to have 3 launching on day 1, but over time they did show quite a few other games, including Chibi Robo, in those 2 Pokemon games, Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD, which if you haven't played those and you're a Pokemon fan, what are you doing? And you don't have to answer that question, because I get it. If you wanted to play it on original hardware, it's hard to spend that much money on a game, no matter what system it's on. At that point, I would absolutely tell you just go and emulate these games. So really, that's the second biggest reason that the GameCube support for the Switch 2 is just huge. Massive for the community, massive for the collectors. I'm the bunker collector. I'm incredibly excited about it. Now, I actually already have myself most of the GameCube games that I want. I collected a lot of first-party GameCube games way back when, in 2012 or so, when I first got a job. So I was fortunate enough to get them before the big price jump that we had just a few years ago. And it's only been like 5 years that the prices really went crazy, thanks to COVID, that evil virus that just kind of messed up the world in a lot of ways. So really, I just wanted to have a public service announcement and just say hey, if you were wanting to collect these GameCube games and they just felt so out of reach for so many years at this point, you can breathe a sigh of relief. You'll finally be able to get them at reasonable prices. Mind you, again, not all at once, but over time, you'll be able to start picking those games up as the value drops and the prices begin to settle. We're going to see prices hopefully settle within about 5 years. For those who grew up with Super Nintendo and N64, those games really never saw such a huge price jump that the GameCube saw, and that's because they became available on the Wii through the Virtual Console within about 10 to 15 years of those consoles coming out. At this point with the GameCube was 20 years old when COVID hit and all the prices decided to jump up, and there has never been a way to get GameCube games except for when they first came out back in 2000 to 2005 to 2006 or so. So if you're like me and you're just looking forward to playing the Nintendo Switch 2, getting that console, playing some GameCube games, and also collecting those GameCube games over the next several years, drop a comment down below. Let me know your excitement. Let me know your favorite GameCube game. If I had to say my favorite GameCube game, honestly, that's so hard. I grew up with the GameCube. I had that system when I was 5 years old. I was awful. I could not get out of the foyer of Luigi's Mansion for the longest time. But I would probably say that's my favorite game, though, because I have the most memories with is Luigi's Mansion. Throw that out there right now. Other than that, the Pokemon games, if you haven't played those, like I said, you definitely got to play them. They're very challenging, very different, very unique, and very mature. Especially Coliseum is a very mature game. You play as a guy named Wes, who used to be a bad guy. He was on the bad, they were called Team Snag'em, and it's so unique. Definitely go check it out. Drop a comment down below again. Let me know your favorite games out there, and I will talk to you in the next one.